Hey everybody, it's Sam Utari here, and I know it's been a while since I did one of these Sam Talks things, but the thing is you're gonna laugh at me, but I am always so late in the game when it comes to special applications, extensions for games, etc, etc, etc. We all know that Dream World closed for Pokemon Black and White 2 because of Pokemon X and Y. Nobody was happy about it, and on top of that, Nintendo now announced that come May 4th, they are shutting down the Wi-Fi services for Pokemon Black and White 2 and everything before that. So Black and White, Heart Gold, Soul Silver, your Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum, it's just not going to work. And this is really, really, really bad news for me, because the thing is like I moved to Germany. Well, okay, I moved to Germany, but I still have an American DS, which means my DS can only hook up to WEP and WPA connections. Now, as you know, everything below Heart Gold and Soul Silver still requires a WEP secure connection. And obviously with Black and White 2, they started accepting WPA connections, which allowed, you to use more internet connections. And that was great, because I could use that. But here in Germany, they don't have WEP or WPA. They have what's called WPA2. Now, the problem is that the internet can be recognized as an internet connection that does indeed work. So I can do things like I used to be able to do things like the Dream World and stuff. Like, all that stuff works. Anything that has to do with Entralink, anything that has to do with Mystery Gift, all of that stuff still works. But when it comes to trading and battling trainers, every time I would go in there, I would get an Arrow 104 or something. It was something like this. Arrow 401, 104, I don't know, I have numbers dyslexia, I wouldn't be able to tell you what it is. All I know is it's those three numbers in some order. So I got an error code, and basically what this error code meant was that, hey, you have internet, but there's something wrong with the internet. And what it was my American DS was registering me as being in the United States, and yet I was using a foreign internet. Now, people are like, oh, well, why don't you just change your DS to Germany? Here's the thing. American DSs don't have the option for Germany, and it doesn't really have any option for Europe in general. It only has South America and some of the bordering islands to America, and it possibly has Canada, but I don't know. I know that I looked it up, but there was no European option in my American DS. European options are only in European DSs, same as Asian options are pretty much only in Asia. So that was the problem with that. So I can't trade, and I can't battle, and I'm not coming back to America for another 2 years. Anyways, that is not what this is about, this whole Sam Talk thing. Granted, I did want to get the announcement out there, so May 4th, 2014, anything below Pokemon X or Y will no longer work. Well, the Wi-Fi. You can still play your game, but you can't trade or battle people, and it sucks. The only way you can do it is if they're, like, right across from you with your DS. So no more global trading, no more global battling, none of that. But if you're right across from someone with a DS, well, it still works. Congratulations. And if you're forever alone like me, you have 2 DSs and you don't have to worry about it anyways. But that just means you have to go and catch every single Pokemon. And if you're like me and you missed half the events out there, then you're fucked. So yeah, 100 Pokemon away from full completion on White version, and I'm so pissed. Anyways, going back to what I was talking about, I'm usually really late in the game when it comes to extensions and blah 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 for games. I mean, I didn't figure out Dream World until last year. Right before it shut down, like 5 months before it shut down, I finally was like, oh, this is the Dream World thing, awesome! So I had never been using it, and I kind of just hopped in on that bandwagon and was like, oh, this is great, and then they're like, we're shutting it down, and I was like, that fucking sucks. So yeah, so I'm not the brightest person, and I recently just found this thing for the 3DS, and it is called Pokemon Dream Radar. Now the thing is I don't know how many of you have heard of this before. Obviously, if you've been paying attention to the little video down below, I am actually showing you clips from Pokemon Dream World. One of them is the trailer, and one of them is someone catching Tornadus, not Tornadus, I don't think. Is it Tornadus? Yeah, he's catching Tornadus, on his DS using a capture card. Me personally, I cannot capture my 3DS, therefore cannot capture my own personal Dream Radar experience, but these clips are the closest thing I could find to something that was really awesome with the music and everything else, so I hope you are enjoying that right now. But look at this crap! Like, look at it! You have a 3D Pokemon floating around your screen! So that's basically the gist of what Dream Radar is. Basically, it is something you have to download it off of the Nintendo eShop. It is not something that you can buy physically, which is something that bothers me. Granted, if you do download it after you pay for it, which is $3.20, and if you're in a different area such as Germany or Asia or blah, it'll convert to whatever your home currency is, and it'll still be about $3 to $4 worth, roughly. But anyways, in America, it's $3.20 for the Pokemon Dream Radar. It's really simple. You can just add funds using your Visa or credit card or whatever. It's very fast, very simple. And then it downloads directly to your Nintendo DS, 3DS, because you can only use it on the 3DS. That's the important part. And the thing is, it like takes up 267 blocks, yada yada yada. If you look it up on the Nintendo eShop for the 3DS, it'll give you all the specifics, so I really don't have to. But the great thing about this app, or this download, or this whatever you want to call it, this separate game, is that it catches Pokemon, just, how do I explain this the best way? Basically, the whole point of this game is, it's like Face Blasters. If you have a 3DS, Face Blasters already came pre-installed in your game. You get to go around, you take pictures of your friends' faces, and then next thing you know, you're looking around your room and your friends' faces are popping up everywhere as monsters, and you get to shoot the shit out of them, and it's so great, especially when you're really mad at that one person, like, hey you, let me take your picture because I want to shoot your face. That's what I use it for. So anyways, it's a really fun game, and this is basically what Dream Radar is basically mirrored of. Basically, you go around, you're working with this scientist who works in the dream world, like Fennel, except she has a separate area that she specializes in, and she specializes in collecting what is called dream orbs. And what dream orbs is you go around shooting these clouds, and every time you shoot a cloud, it bursts apart into these little orbs, and then you shoot the orbs to collect them. Now, Dream orbs are used for different things. For you, as the player, it's used for upgrades. You can upgrade your beam, your scope, how many clouds you find every so many minutes, blah, 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 blah. And how many Pokemon appear to, and you can have support items that you can buy. It's basically like an actual game where everything's upgraded. So anyways, what it is you start shooting at these clouds, and the clouds burst apart into these little orbs. You shoot the orbs in order to get them, and you basically are able to buy upgrades with them. And it's really cool. But what dream orbs are used for is the professor that you're working with is trying to research these mystery Pokemon that she has found. And there's 3 of them, and she basically has all these blurred pictures she's showing you, and she's like, I don't know who they are, or where they came from, or any of that, so help me find them. I know you can do it. And what it ends up being is it's Thundurus, Tornadus, and Landorus in their Therian forms. Now, these are the new forms that came out for Pokemon Black and White 2. The forms are only available in those second versions. And the cool thing about this game is that, yeah, your whole point is catching the trio, which you end up doing, which is really cool. After so many orbs are collected, you can go into a scenario where you catch each one. But not only can you do that, but this game also allows you to catch other Pokemon as well. Granted, Dream Radar does not have the amount of Pokemon the Dream World has. It doesn't even come close. It only has like maybe less than 20 Pokemon that you can catch. Things like a Riolu and a Smoochum. But you can get stuff like Spiritomb and a Beldum. Like, these are really good Pokemon. I think there's a couple other that you can get that are actually pretty good. Like, one's a semi-legendary or whatever, like Spiritomb. It's one that's really hard to get, but I forget who it is. And when I figure it out, I'll let you know. But the thing is like, Rotom. You can get a Rotom, and you can get a couple other things. But the thing is like me, I am plagued with Swablues. I am getting so many Swablues, I could be trading Swablues for days. Like, if I had Pokebank and X or Y here, I would freaking be sending Swablues through Wonder Trade all day long like it ain't nobody's business. But the cool thing about it is that every Pokemon that you get from this Dream Radar comes with their Dream World ability. Now, if you have all 8 badges, all Pokemon come to you at level 40, which is really cool if you're trying to complete your Pokedex and evolve things, because a lot of these Pokemon are already at a level where they can evolve. So all these Pokemon come to you at level 40 if you have 8 badges, and if you don't, they come at, like, various levels, the lowest being, like, 10, which is really funny, because you can have a level 10 Legendary, which kind of looks weird. And every one of them comes in a Dream Ball. And, yeah, basically you can transfer these Pokemon, and they go directly to your Pokemon White 2 or Black 2 version that's plugged into your system. Now, the thing is you cannot transfer these Pokemon to white or black directly, and I'm not sure whether you can trade them either. I know that the legendary trio come in their Therian forms, so I'm not sure if you can transfer them back to the other version because they have that special form, but like I said, I haven't tried it because I don't have all three, and I don't want to try it until I have all three, and that's basically just it. But yeah, what else was I gonna say? Right. So I was looking up this thing because I wanted to know how this worked, and I was actually looking to see whether the Wi-Fi connection ending would actually affect Dream Radar. Now, as far as I know, the Wi-Fi connection ending does not affect Dream Radar, but if it does, please feel free to correct me in the comments below, that way people aren't confused. But the thing is like, after you capture the legendary trio, if you plug in all your other versions, like all the versions below white and black, you can actually get the legendaries from those versions, the mascots. So say you put in a Heart Gold version, then you're given a scenario and you can go catch Ho-Oh, same with Soul Silver, you can go catch a Lugia, Diamond, Platinum, Pearl, you know, Palkia, Dialga, frickin' Giratina. Granted, I have a shiny Giratina, so I don't know what I'm gonna do with the other Giratina. Another giveaway! No, I don't know. Anyways, this is really, really, really good news for people that are trying to complete their Pokedex, and the thing is, legendaries are such a pain in the butt to catch. So the fact that if you have all these older versions, you can catch their mascots, it really helps out a lot. Now granted, it does suck because in black and white, you can't plug those in and get Reshiram and Zekrom. Now if you could, that would make things a lot easier. That's not possible, but it's not really that big of a deal. I can at least, you know, give up on those, because I still get Ho-Oh, Lugia, Giratina, Palkia, Dialga, like all of that is just, that's awesome. I can't tell you how awesome this is. And the thing is the catching process is so easy. Basically, you move around the room and you shoot a cloud, right? And it has a Pokemon in it. Well, usually normal Pokemon and all the mascots except for the legendary trio show up as glowing orbs. And what you do is you basically just chase this orb around the room. You shoot it with a beam and you keep pressing A and you let the meter fill all the way up before the time limit runs out. And you've caught the Pokemon. Simple as that. And then you just transfer it right to your game and it's there. Now obviously this stuff has some downsides, because the thing is if you don't catch the legendary Pokemon, the mascots from the other games, they only appear once. Granted, I think you can catch the trio. If you miss them, you can keep trying to catch them, but as far as Ho-Oh, Lugia, and all of them, you only get one shot at it. So if you fluff it up, they're basically gone. But the thing is if you have those versions, you can basically just transfer the Pokemon anyways. Like I said, it's not a huge loss. This is basically just making your Pokedex journey easier. Now, like I said, I was really late to this app, or this application, whatever, this download, because I heard that it came out when Black and White 2 came out. But you have to realize, this person right here didn't even know the Black and White 2 came out until I was shopping through the rows where I work, and I saw it, and I was like, what? I was like, when did they come out with this thing? You know, same with Ruby and Sapphire. I had no idea they had it until I walked into Kmart and was like, new Pokemon game, oh my god. Dad, I need it now. You know, like, seriously. So I tend to kind of, like, not pay attention to these things. I don't read the Nintendo website. I don't keep up with the news. Nowadays I do. I swear. But the thing is like, I tend to not catch these things. So I am really glad that I found this Dream Radar. The only bad thing about it is, yeah, you only get, like, 10 clouds to begin with, and then you only get, like, 15, and every time you catch a legendary, it goes up a little more. But what it comes down to is you have to wait 45 to 70 minutes for all the clouds to regenerate. And you have to basically keep turning off the system, turning it back on, playing the game, and you can't encounter the legendaries until you get enough Dream Orbs, which takes a long amount of time. This game can get tedious, because the thing is, it's just the same thing over and over again. And when you're being plagued with Swablues and Sigilyphs, you kind of get tired of it. But at the same time, I really need those legendary trios. I hate catching legendaries in games because it takes so long. Just tried to catch a Latias here, like, about 10 minutes ago, and it took fucking forever. And I hate it, and it used all my timer balls. Like, this is my face when I'm not happy, you know? Like, so yeah, so anyways, if you haven't already checked out Dream Radar, I would suggest you check it out if you have the 3DS. If you have not already gotten a 3DS, and if you don't have the newer versions of the game, know that if you do depend on Wi-Fi trading and battling, that option will no longer be available to you come May 4th, so it's best to start getting ready to get a 3DS and getting the newer games. Now, this sucks for older Pokemon fans because there are some that just don't want to invest in the new system. I totally understand. I am broke too. The only reason I have mine is because I have an amazing girlfriend that bought it for me. You know, but what it comes down to is this is a marketing ploy to get you to buy the newer systems because the DS has been out for so long, and eventually the system, like the SP, like the Advance, and like the original Game Boy, it will eventually become obsolete. So don't take it personally, it's all just marketing, and they know that eventually the systems will start to crash, the games will stop working, and they have to do something about this, and why continue to support a system that they're not going to use forever? It is costing them money. But justifications aside, yes, Pokemon Dream Radar, it's fantastic, it's wonderful, I love watching Pokemon float around my screen in 3D, and it looks like they are just really in my room. And the thing is with this, it is so amazing because when you're catching these Pokemon, you're following them around the room, you're trying not to lose them, your heart's pumping, your adrenaline's like just rushing like crazy. And I think to myself, if Pokemon were real and it was in the real world, this must be what really catching a Pokemon is like. Because when you catch that legendary in the game, you're like, yes, you know, you have that moment of victory and just, ah. But the thing is it cannot even begin to compare to Dream Radar when you're sitting there tapping that button, you know, with one of the legendary trios, and you're like, I've got it, and then it flies away, and you're like, shit, only 80 seconds left, ah, you know, and you're freaking out, and you're on a time limit, and you're just, but then when you catch it, you're just like, fuck yeah, I am the best. You're like, you instantly just go, Pokemon Master. I am a Pokemon Master. Yes, I am, you know, and you just have this moment of just triumph and utter victory, and just the passion and the everything that you just feel from this moment, the exhilaration. Like, yes, if Pokemon were real, I think that is how it would be if you threw that Pokeball, you watched it, like, really spin around, and then when it finally just clicked, you're like, yes, I did it! Like, woohoo! You know, and so I can't, like, tell you enough just how amazing this experience is, especially for such a simple game. But for Pokemon fans and people that have adored Pokemon since it came out, especially like me, who is a true and blue Pokepimp till the end, this is for you. This is something that you should invest in that you're missing out if you don't have it. But yeah, so anyways, if you didn't pay attention to the first however many minutes of this video, Dream World's gone. Wi-Fi connection for all the old games is ending, but Dream Radar is totally worth your time if you're still trying to get legendaries for your other versions for Pokédex completion. And think of it this way, you can get the legendaries and you can put them in your Pokébank for newer versions. Yo. Anyways, I've talked enough on this issue. I know that there's really nothing else to explain, because, I mean, obviously it's a pretty simple concept. You upgrade your ship to catch better Pokemon, to have more clouds, to collect Dream Orbs so you can get legendaries, and yada 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 yada. Really simplistic, not very many Pokemon to catch aside from the legendaries, but at the same time it does help. It's only $3.20. You know, and it's something to play when you're bored. And instead of shooting someone's face, you get to shoot and catch Pokemon. And then you can spam Wonder Trade all you want. So anyways, this has been Sam Utari talking about Pokemon Dream Radar. I hope you did enjoy this, and if you did, go ahead and hit a like. And leave me a comment down below, let me know if you have Dream Radar, and if you don't, let me know if you plan on getting it, and if you do, again, just let me know how your experience was, what your favorite Pokemon to catch was, any tips or advice for people trying to catch better Pokemon like the Spiritomb. And yeah, feel free to subscribe to my channel if you want. I don't put up videos as much as I normally and or used to, and in a week I will be in Italy for another week, so there will be like 2 weeks worth of a hiatus, and so I am so sorry for that, but at the same time I got a lot of things going on and it's Italy. I'm not going to be playing video games while I'm in Italy. Anyway, so this is Sam Utari out, and I will talk to you guys later. Alright, ciao you guys!